Dry conditions on BC's Sunshine Coast have led authorities in that region to declare a local state of emergency. It calls for shutting off the water supply from a local reservoir. The District of Sechelt and the Sechelt Nation have also declared local states of emergency. But let's bring in Hillary Johnston, who has a little bit more detail on this. We've talked quite some time about how dire the situation is. Emphasis with this declaration of a state of emergency now, Hillary.
That's right, Heather, a state of emergency. And what that means is that as of 11:59 p.m. tonight, Pacific time, a number of businesses in the Sunshine Coast Regional District are going to be impacted. That means that they are no longer going to be able to use water for things such as public pools, water that goes into making cement, for example. Also talking about alcohol production. So this will affect breweries, for example, non-medical cannabis growers, and companies that bottle water as well. So what we are hearing from the Sunshine Coast Regional District is that they need to buy themselves some time here so that they make sure that they have enough water for residents to drink, for hospitals to operate, and for firefighters to use. So they're really going to be targeting some of these more commercial ventures that are using treated drinking water. As of August 31st, people in that region haven't been able to water their lawns or water their gardens, but it has now gotten to the point where officials are really quite focused on these images that I'm showing you right now. So that would be Chapman Lake. That is the source of the municipality's drinking water. It gives drinking water to some 22,000 people, but the water levels have come so low now that they are quite concerned because they have not had any significant rainfall for more than 100 days. And when you look at the forecast, it's not looking very good. So they do feel in this regional district that they do have enough water until about mid-November. That's not very long from now. So for more on this, we did speak with an official with the regional district. Here's what we heard.
Last year, we were planning to install an emergency system and it was not required. This year, we already installed that and we are currently already planning for further emergency measures to be implemented. So we are currently completely in unprecedented territory in terms of what all the measures that we have to take to ensure that there is enough water to the community.
So he's talking there about this plan that they're still waiting to hear more from the provincial government on to change the water release patterns from that Chapman Lake that we were just showing you. Also speaking about the fact that they have tried to address this in the past, but they do not have the infrastructure currently set up to address this particular emergency situation.
And I'm just wondering what the reaction is from these non-essential businesses affected by all of this. What are their thoughts on preparation for events like this?
Frustration, for sure, Heather, because in their view, as climate change starts to progress, they do feel that some of those infrastructure changes that we were just hearing there from that official, that those should have been taken into consideration earlier so that we are no longer didn't reach the point that we have now reached. So for more on this, we spoke with the owner of a local brewery who also operates a farm. So sort of a double whammy there where he's not going to be able to water his crops. He's not going to be able to produce alcohol. Here's a little bit of what he said.
7 of the last 10 years that we've been on the, on our farm where we are, 7 of those years have probably been drought years. And so we're aware that that's a risk each year. We're aware that the SCRD hasn't installed the infrastructure necessary to address prolonged droughts like this. And so this doesn't come as a complete shock, but it is, as you can imagine, deeply disappointing.
So, Heather, the other thing that Smith says is that, if farmers are one victim of climate change, then he does feel that some of these small businesses might be another victim as well.
Hillary, thank you very much.